Meanwhile, the House of Representatives has approved the declaration of a state of emergency in Rivers State, along with the 6-month suspension of Governor Sim Fubara, his deputy, and all elected members of the Assembly, as announced by President Bola Tinubu. The seal of approval for the President's proclamation came via a voice note during plenary this Thursday. The Speaker, Tajuddin Abbas, who presided over the plenary, called on members to make their contribution during the consideration of the general principles of the President's report. Meanwhile, Benue lawmaker and deputy spokesman of the House, Philip Agbese, in his contribution, recommended the setting up of a national mediation committee to broker peace between Governor Similai Fubara and the Rivers State House of Assembly, which the House approved the prayer.
Those in support of this request of Mr. President as amended should say aye. Aye. Those in support of this request from Mr. President as amended should say aye. Those against should say nay. There is have it.
The Senate resolved as follows. 1. The Senate invokes the powers conferred on it by Section 305, subsection 2 of the 1999 Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria as amended, and approve the proclamation of state of emergency declared by Mr. President in Rivers State of Nigeria.
In a related development, the federal government has deployed 10,000 Nigeria Security and Civil Defense Corps personnel to curb further attacks on oil pipelines against the backdrop of the blasts at oil installations in Rivers State between Sunday and Tuesday. This came as the opposition lawmakers and organized labor protested the imposition of emergency rule in Rivers State by President Bola Tinubu. The NSCDC spokesperson, Afolabi Babawale, confirmed the deployment of anti-vandal operatives to journalists on Wednesday, stating that the operatives were tasked with protecting critical infrastructure and preventing pipeline vandalism, particularly in the Niger Delta. Recall that Tinubu, in a national broadcast on Tuesday, announced the suspension of Governor Similai Fubara, his deputy, Professor Ngozi Odu, and the State Assembly members, and nominated Vice Admiral Ibok Ete Ibas retired as the state's sole administrator. Ibas, who was sworn in at the Aso Villa on Wednesday, will administer the state for an initial period of 6 months. Now, 6 persons have been confirmed dead and 14 vehicles burnt following the explosion of a truck near Karu Bridge along the Abuja-Kefi Expressway on Wednesday evening. The Director of Search and Rescue in the National Emergency Management Agency, NEMA, Air Commodore A.K. Oyong, confirmed the incident while speaking to newsmen at the scene of the accident.
Contacted, they've come around, they've extinguished the fire. The police is here to control the crowd. From what I'm told, although that cannot be ascertained, there are some casualties. The figures will be given when everyone is granted. Some critically injured people are reported to Asokoro General Hospital. So for now, that's where we are. We're trying to, right now, clear the road so that motorists can, traffic can be eased, so that motorists can go about their normal.
Meanwhile, the FCT Police Public Relations Officer Josephine Ade said the incident occurred at 6:58 p.m., adding that the incident involved a Dangote trailer loaded with cement, which lost control and crashed into stationary vehicles trapped in traffic while approaching Nyanya Bridge from AYA. Ade further sent condolences to the families and victims of the accident, while assuring the public that investigations are underway to determine the cause of the accident. She asked residents and members of the public to exercise caution and adhere to speed limits while driving to prevent the recurrence of such tragedies. A police personnel attached to the Joint Security Team in Benue State, codenamed Operation Zenda, and 11 others suspected to be members of a militia gang have reportedly lost their lives during a gun battle in Buruku local government area of the state. It was gathered that the incident, which occurred near the border communities of Buruku and Ushongo local government areas, started Tuesday night and spilled into Wednesday. According to the source, who spoke on condition of anonymity, the new militia group, led by one Baba Benue, invaded the area Tuesday evening, shooting sporadically and harassing the locals. It was gathered that the remains of the police personnel and the 11 gang members were evacuated and moved to Makodi, where they were deposited in a morgue. When contacted, the police public relations officer, Catherine Anene, who confirmed the development, said she was yet to receive details of the incident. The Kebbi state government has confirmed that out of 17 samples sent to National Laboratory Reference Center Abuja, 5 samples have returned positive, which is the confirmation of meningitis outbreak in the state. Speaking in Braining Kebbi, the Permanent Secretary, Ministry of Health, Kebbi State, Dr. Shehu Koko, said at least 56 persons have died across Kebbi State since the outbreak of meningitis. Koko, led by the World Health Organization, UNICEF, Medicine Sans Frontiers, MSF, and other healthcare development partners in Kebbi have activated rapid response mechanism to tame the spread of the disease, part of which include donation of vaccines from the federal government, drugs from healthcare partners, opening of isolation centers in the affected local governments, supported by WHO, UNICEF, and MSF, all in efforts to contain it within short time. He, however, warned relatives of patients to keep off the centers to avoid contracting the disease. And that's the news. You can follow up on latest events and happenings around you via our social media platforms on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube at Clearview News Desk, or via our handle on X, formerly known as Twitter, at Clearview Online. Many thanks for joining us. I am Gloria Atta. Bye for now.